Look, I didn't tell nobody I was coming live, and this is actually my first live on YouTube. I'm gonna do a coloring chat, but right when I was getting ready to start, I had a hangnail. So I gotta cut that off right quick because I ain't gonna be able to deal. Okay, so y'all, I just got these new Sharpies in the mail, and I wanted to color with them to see what they look like. They're called creative markers. So that's what I'm gonna be coloring with while I'm talking to y'all about marketing your books on Amazon KDP. I'm just gonna share a couple of tips and things that I have done to market my books. This is what the markers look like though. Let's see. Okay, so it has the colors at the top of the marker. Pretty neat. Hello, hello, hello. Y'all drop a money bag in the chat as you're coming in. All right, let's see what we're gonna do. Sit these over here. Can y'all hear my little relaxing music? Hey. Yeah, these are Sharpies, the creative markers. I was saying that I just got them in the mail, so I wanted to try them because I've never tried them before. And I was going to just do a little coloring chat, something a little different. I had said that I was going to start trying to come live a little more. So this is my first one. Trying to keep my word. I was like, it's kind of late and dark, but I was like, let me get this light up and see if I can do this tonight. Oh, thank you so much. Hey, y'all drop a money bag in when you come. Because we're going to be talking about some marketing tips that you can do on and off of Amazon. Just a couple of things that I have done in my own business. So let's see what color I want. And y'all, I'm actually recording this on my cell phone so I can see like the end of the comments because the way I have my cell phone position, but I can't see all of the comments. So every now and then I look at the comments and stuff. But y'all keep them coming. Keep them coming now. Talk to me. So I'm gonna be using, this is a page from my 24 Shades of Business book. Same girl that's on the cover. This was my first ever book that I published in 2018, y'all. And before I started marketing this, since we're talking about Amazon KDP marketing tips, before I started marketing this, or before I published it at all, I actually went to some Facebook groups that had my target audience that I knew would like this type of images and illustrations. And so I asked them, you know, which picture do you like the best? And I put the picture side by side because I hadn't made the cover yet. I was just messing with these two pictures. And the responses that I got, oh, I like that. That is so smooth. Can y'all see? Now, I'm not a coloring artist, but we're going to work with this. We're going to work with it. If y'all got this book, you could pull it out and color with me. But yeah, so when I was in the Facebook groups, I put the two pictures side by side. And I basically was just asking everybody in the group, I said, which image do you like the best, left or right? And so, of course, that got me engagement because people were saying, oh, I like the left one, or I like the right one. And then people were also saying, oh, I like both of them, sis. So I went through all of the comments and I pulled the majority, and most people said that they wanted both on the cover. So then I was like, how can I think of a creative way to put both? So really these are two individual pages. Like, for example, this girl is just right here because that was a separate page in the book. And then where is this lady at? This lady, she's somewhere in here. Oh, there she go. It was this. And so I put them both side by side, and then that's kind of how I came up with the cover, because of the help of the people that were going to be buying the actual book. So they really helped me, and by them helping me, when I got ready to release the book, they were excited about the book because they were part of the process. They felt like, oh, I remember this book. I helped her decide on the picture. Yes, girl, when is this going to be available? So I went ahead and created a coming soon page on my Shopify store. I didn't set up the whole website or anything, y'all. All I did was set up the coming soon page. And basically they could put in their name and their email address. And then when I got ready to publish the book to release it, I already had their information. So I used those same people that had already helped me with the image. And that's kind of how I got people to know about the book and to purchase it as soon as it was released. And so that's a good strategy if you guys are on Facebook or if you're in any of the Facebook groups. I will say that not all Facebook groups allow marketing. So sometimes you may have to just write the moderator or the owner of the Facebook group and just ask them if you, can use their group to put pictures or anything about your book. And you want to always ask a question when you're putting it in Facebook groups, because the purpose of it is to get a lot of traction. So you want people answering the questions. So hold on, let me see if I can see y'all stuff. Let me push it out a little bit more. Oh, thank you so much. So yeah. Like I was saying, you want to ask a question, because that is going to basically help the algorithm and let Facebook know, okay, people are responding to this post. So that means I want to put, I want to show it to more people. And that always helps, because the more engagement, the more eyes. So yeah, that's just one little trick I did when I first started. And oh, I wanted to do it like the like it is over here. Oh well. So the key about Facebook groups, though, you have to know who your target audience is. Because I was in quite a few Facebook groups, and I thought that when I first started getting this book together, I was like, what I'll do is I'll use the Facebook group that love coloring. So I was going to these coloring groups, and I was like, this has to be my target audience, because y'all, I was just like starting to learn about target audiences and stuff like that. I was like, so coloring artists must be my target audience, because they're gonna love the color. So why wouldn't they love the book? And when I posted in those groups, y'all, them people was like, they were doing more critiquing than anything of the images. So coloring book artists is not your target audience for a lot of people. For some people, I guess it could be, but for me, it was not. I had to find groups that I was in that understood the value of what the book was about, the culture of the book, relatable. They could relate to the images and things like that. So that is definitely key. Let's see if I can find a pink one. Yeah, these are real smooth. They're not like the alcohol markers, They're more like acrylic style, but I like them. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, okay. Thank you, girl. Okay, so another thing that I want to say is before you actually start marketing your book, you want to make sure you have the foundational elements taken care of. And when I say foundational elements, you want to make sure that you're looking on Amazon to see books that are like yours and looking at their cover images, seeing what colors are on the images. You see how the colors pop on these images? Also, take note of the font size, making sure that if someone is coming to Amazon and they are looking at their cell phone to find coloring books like yours, make sure they can actually see what your title is and that it is a coloring book. You know, you want it to be big enough where they could see from that thumbnail. Because what happens is if you don't catch their attention, but all of the other books on Amazon do, they're going to keep scrolling. Think about it like when you're shopping on Amazon. When you're on Amazon and you are looking for a particular thing, the first thing that stands out to you is going to be probably the image, right? And then once the image catches your attention or you start slowing down from scrolling on the image, the next thing you're going to look at is the title and the price of the book. Then you probably gonna go to the reviews and see. So that whole process, you're just reverse engineering to make sure that the same thing that you would do if you were buying a product on Amazon, you make sure that that same thing is done for your book as well, because the customer is going to think like you. Why don't I do it that other color? Child, I don't know if it was this blue or this blue, but I guess it don't matter. I just be coloring to relax because being an entrepreneur, you're always so busy and your brain is always on go because you're always seeing creative things to do. You're always seeing, like, especially if you are on YouTube or anything like that, you're always like getting ideas. So sometimes you just need to take a break. And so that's why I love coloring as well as creating coloring books. So what do we have? Do we have a gold color? I guess this is as close to gold as we're gonna get for her necklace. Okay. All right, and something else I did to market my Amazon KDP books that I actually don't talk a lot about on this channel, but I started posting Pinterest pins. And I didn't realize how much traffic that can actually bring to your Amazon listing. I really did not realize how much traffic it brought until I started testing it out. I didn't know anything about Pinterest. I was just like, I hear a lot of people talking about it, so let me go ahead and just put this picture up in a pen, tag it, and have it go to my Amazon page. And I literally was getting sales and SEO ranking in Google as well from posting on Pinterest. Do y'all have Pinterest accounts? Because I know most people probably use like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to market their book for the most part. But yeah, Pinterest was one of the ways that I used as well when I was first starting. Now, I don't use Pinterest as much anymore, but I do still try to post a page for my book or either the cover of the book whenever I do think about it, because I know that it did work when I used to use it often. And so basically, you could create pins that feature your book pages or your coloring sheets, or even if you make low content books like journals, you can create journal templates. So it works really, really good for printables and coloring books. Let me find them, Brad. I use that gold. Oh, you love Pinterest? What do you put on there? Do you do your coloring books on Pinterest or something else? Because I know a lot of people even do affiliate marketing on Pinterest. Like, people be saying that they are bringing in the big bucks on Pinterest. For real, for real. Listen, I set up these lights, right? Because originally I was gonna record while I was relaxing and sitting on the bed. And as soon as I set up my lights, someone else decides they want to take up room. Booby, say hello to the people. I mean, all in the way. Just in the way. He gotta love her, though. So I actually didn't search Facebook groups. I used Facebook groups that I was already in and actively providing information about business for. So it worked out good because the books are for people like me that can relate, you know? So it was already the groups I was in. I just thought I had to search for additional groups like coloring book groups. But then when I started saying, okay, these are not the right groups because this ain't working, I was like, let me use the groups I already have. So think of groups like, if you sell African American coloring books, or if that's your target audience, then you want to think of groups like, think of craft groups that have your target audience, or hair groups that have your target audience, things that are around your niche. So, you know, with hair groups, you know, Black women love doing hair. They love natural products. You know, the lady right here that, you know, they love stuff like that. So you have to think about, when I said reverse engineering, whoever your target audience is, just think about what they would like, where they would be at. And now with ChatGPT, it's even easier for you to find groups related to your target audience, because all you have to do is go to ChatGPT and say, what type of groups would like this type of book? And then it could give you some suggestions of things that you may want to search for when you're looking on Facebook. Oh, okay. So for journals, pretty neat. Pretty neat. I know people use it for blog posts too. And congratulations on your new business. You're welcome. All right, and so for the next tip of how you can market your book that you're selling on Amazon KDP using social media is Instagram. Now, Instagram was my absolute favorite place to sell my books because people go on it to look at images and stuff like that. So when I first started, that is how I used social media to build my audience. So in addition to Facebook, I was also building my audience using Instagram. And so with Instagram, one of the things that I started doing was the first thing that I do when I go to any platform, I go and I look at the search bar and I see if anybody else is already creating content around what I'm doing. So I look to see if anybody is already creating content around coloring books. I also look to see if anybody is already creating content around my niche so that I can get inspiration and ideas of some of the type of content that's working for them, because chances are if it is working for them, it will also work for you. So that is where I would start on Instagram, is by going to the search bar and just typing in something like coloring books or Black women coloring books and see what you're seeing. So when I started, I was doing just static posts, which means like just posting images of my coloring pages. And then I wouldn't post images selling something all the time. I would post images kind of getting that engagement, because remember I said even on Facebook, the purpose is for you to get engagement, because that tells the algorithm that people are interacting with your post, and then they will start showing that post to more people. So you can do things like ask questions under your post. A lot of times I was putting like self-care tips or relaxation tips, and then asking someone, I might say something like, do you agree, yes or no, or something like that, just so they can answer something easy, because you don't want to put questions where people got to actually think, because you're not going to get a lot of feedback. You need to ask them some simple questions like, do you like this, yes or no? Do you like this, left or right? Stuff like that. And then kind of redirect them to the link in your bio. And so, of course, now, because when I first started, it was like 2018, so that was years ago. Now, everything is video related. So You can still do the static posts, but you also want to be creating video content, because those types of things work well when you're doing reels and that kind of stuff on social media. And to get inspiration for reels, you could do the same thing. Go to the search bar and just see who's already creating your type of content. And then you would just use your book and do a similar thing. My little picture. Let me see if I can find some brown markers. Because the Sharpie markers, they're just, your rainbow colors. You gotta find some brown ones. You got too hot with that light, didn't you, girl? I know you had to move. Child. I done messed up my little face. She'll be all right. So no, with these coloring books, I hire an illustrator. Thank you. Now, y'all, as a disclaimer, if you are new to this channel, I am not a coloring artist. I just color for relaxation, honey. And to be honest, coloring is not something that I did in my past time as a hobby before I started creating coloring books. I didn't even know how relaxing coloring was until I was actually at work one day and they brought coloring books around as a self-care activity or stress relief activity. And we were all mad because we were like, they could have gave us bonuses. They're going to give us coloring books. People be so ungrateful, don't they? But anyway, so I threw the coloring book to the side. And then one day somebody was fussing. And they were so mad that they wouldn't let me get a word in. So I just pulled out my coloring book and started coloring while they were fussing. And I was like, oh my God. It was like so relaxing. I didn't even get mad at them for fussing or anything. I was like, wow, let me pull out some more pages of this coloring book. So part of that is what inspired me making coloring books, because I thought back to that event once I got ready to publish. And then once I thought back to that event, I tried to go on Amazon to find more coloring books like it. And I couldn't find any that had any black women on the covers. So that all of that came together, and that is really how I found the niche, because I was just looking for more coloring books that I could relax to, that I could relate to, but I couldn't find any. So I was like, oh my God. When God told me to create a book, I was like, this is what it is then. This is it. So that's kind of how that worked out. All right, and then y'all already know about TikTok, because I think a lot of people use TikTok as well. So basically for like Instagram Reels and TikTok videos, it's kind of like the same kind of format. You're going to basically just be showing off your book, flipping through the pages, and you could post like color with me videos like I'm doing now. You can just color through your book. A lot of people don't even talk. You know, I'm just talking because I usually talk about Amazon KDP. So I was like, let me chat a little bit. But a lot of times when you're looking through those videos, people not talking. They just coloring their little books, minding their business. So you can do that type of thing on TikTok. And also with TikTok, you want to use trending sounds, because that also engages people. So you can use trending sounds, relaxing music, anything that you're hearing other people play in their videos. Also on TikTok, you want to use hashtags because they help you rank better. They help people find books that are like yours. And so really the same way that I told you to go to the search bar on Instagram, you'll go to the search bar on TikTok as well. Look for books that are like yours. So think of searching for things like coloring books and see what type of videos you see. And then check out the sounds that they're using in their videos, what type of content they're posting in their videos, to give you some inspiration so that you can start using those ideas when you are, you know, marketing your book as well. Oh, and last but not least, y'all already know my new favorite thing is YouTube. So when I started publishing books, I started a YouTube channel back then, but I only started my YouTube channel to put, like, when I had a new book coming out. So I would just do a post just basically saying Latoya Nicole's coloring book, and I would flip through the pages, and then I wouldn't post anything else until I created another book, right? And so I was just using YouTube back then to show up in Google's SEO, because you always want to be able to show up on Google no matter what you do. That's why publishing on Amazon KDP is such a positive impact, because your book, if you have it set up correctly, meaning your title, your subtitle, and making sure you are indexed correctly with your descriptions and your keywords, then when people are looking for your type of book, like let's say they don't know anything about you because you're a new author, but you made a self-care coloring book, so they're just going to Google and they're typing in self-care coloring book. You want your book to come up because you've already included self-care in your title or subtitle. You included self-care in your description on Amazon and things like that. So SEO is extremely important, and that's what I was using YouTube for back then, because I knew that it would show up in the results quicker. Oh, yay, I'm glad you're here too. I am glad you are here. Glad to have you. And so, oh, I didn't even color her hands, Lord. I don't even know what color I used. And so, just like with this live stream for YouTube, y'all, I ain't even keep up with the colors I was using. This ain't even. Whatever. Whatever, child. You still cute, honey. So what was I saying? Lord, I don't even know what I was saying. I didn't got distracted because I'm gonna just come up here and start coloring, because I be getting distracted trying to color my little picture. But yeah, so just like with this live stream, you can record yourself coloring in your book. You can post shorts of your book. So when you do shorts, like if you go to my shorts and you look at them, you'll see that a lot of my shorts, I'm doing like flip throughs. So I might come on and I might say something like, this is exactly what a KDP coloring book looks like. And then I'll do a flip through of the pages, you know, just like that. And then I might show the front and the back. And then that's it. I keep it short and sweet. And so shorts actually help get you traffic, because shorts get out to a broader range of people. And so when you use shorts as well as post on your main page, you can get good traction as long as you are always targeting the correct audience when you are posting. And you don't want to always sell. So when I say that, that means that every single video that you post, you're not wanting to say, hey y'all, buy my book. Hey y'all, here go another flip through, go buy my book. Hey y'all, let me tell y'all about my book today. You want to be providing value to people, so you can work that in different ways. If you just want to color, then just like I said, do the color alongs or the color with me, so that people can color with you and they're feeling like they're getting value because they're relaxing with you as well as coloring with you. You can also do things like use your book and your videos if you wanted to talk on YouTube about self-publishing. So you can use any angle you want. One thing that I recommend, if you do want to talk about self-publishing to kind of build your YouTube audience and kind of insert your books in that, I recommend starting with the process. So like when you are self-publishing your book, record that process. Take people through that process with you. Let them see your mistakes. Let them see anything that you're doing in that process, so that if they ever run into that same mistake, you never know what video would help them. Because one of the videos that I did, I didn't even put much thought in that video, to be honest. I was just recording the video because I had an actual error. So I said, well, let me go ahead and record this because somebody else might run into the same issue. It just so happened that video took off. So you never know who needs help with those types of videos. So when you're doing those videos, you can still implement your book in the videos. A lot of times I'd never say, in my YouTube video, hey y'all, go buy my book. What I do is I just insert the book into the video. So like I'll say something like, if you want to publish on Amazon with coloring books just like these, and then I put my picture, my cover up there or something like that. But I do that, and then I put the link to my books in my description, just like I'm gonna do in this live stream post once I'm finished with this, as long as they allow it. I told y'all this is my first live stream on YouTube, so I don't really know how that's set up, but as long as I can put it in there, I'm gonna put it in there. I'm gonna put the markers too, because somebody had asked me about these markers when I started, so I'll put the Sharpie markers link as well. So yeah, YouTube, like I said, is my new favorite way of sharing my books and sharing the process of self-publishing. I didn't even know YouTube had all of these opportunities, in all honesty, because YouTube has been kind of like the net that I put out there. And then from putting that net out there, not only am I making money with Amazon KDP books, I'm also making money through AdSense using YouTube, as well as making money with like affiliate marketing. So it's so many different avenues that you can take when you're trying to sell your book. And listen, y'all just got to do it. Just publish the book, because that's going to be the first step. Is getting your book out there. And then once you got it out there, use any of these marketing tips. And one of the reasons you want to use social media is because social media is free. So I do use ads, but of course you have to pay for ads. So why not use a platform where you can gain organic traffic and you're not paying anything out of pocket? Like, I hear people say, oh, I do not like social media, y'all. I'm telling you, you gotta like social media or you gotta be able to hire somebody to create the content for you, because it makes no sense not to post on a free platform to get your brand out there so that people will know about you, because no one can buy your book if they don't know your book even exists. So it's your responsibility to, you know, market it effectively and get it out there so that people do have the opportunity to buy it, because you never know who's waiting on your book. The person that's just like you could be waiting on your book. They just have to find you. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I had said earlier that I can't really see the chat that good because the way I have my phone position, but I'm going to try to read this question. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. How do you create the images and make them colorable? I think that's what it's saying. And make them colorable. Sometimes some of the images, Lord, are still black even if I try. So I think you're referring to like AI images, probably, if you're saying you're creating the images. So when you're creating AI images, you want to use terms like no grayscale, black and white lines, simple coloring page, and just play around with it and see. Now, if you're using something like Midjourney, then if you find a coloring page that you like, you can actually upload that image so that you can see if Midjourney can create a style that's like that. And if you use ChatGPT, which, listen, ChatGPT is like my best friend, for real, for real. And of course they have a free version. So if you're not using it, you definitely want to take advantage of ChatGPT. They have an image feature. And with the image feature, you can actually upload images there as well. And if you find a coloring page that you like, if you upload that image into ChatGPT, ChatGPT can kind of reverse engineer it. And you can say, hey, can you give me the prompt that I would use if I was trying to create an image like this? And it will tell you the prompt for that image. And then you can go in and try to use that prompt to see if it'll give you a cleaner image. But with AI, I will tell you, until you actually learn the style of image and you get it, like you find some that you actually like, it's gonna be a playing game. You're gonna have to play around with it and see, you know, what you can eventually come up with. And actually, in my coloring book course at Book Bag University, I go through how to create those images as well as adjust the images in Canva. But I think from your message, you probably already tried to adjust it. It's still just coming out either too black or having that grayscale in it. So the only other thing that I would suggest in that case, but the reason I never suggest this publicly on my platform is not because this isn't a good tool, because this is actually a great tool, but it's because it's connected to an actual course. But with that specific course, it's a coloring book course, but they have this great tool that you can actually adjust your images in it. And to be honest, maybe I need to add that to my program as well, because if someone runs into that issue, I could just do maybe like a kind of like a done for you thing where I can do like maybe up to 10, 15 images or something like that, however many you have, and then kind of play with that tool as well, because you won't have access to it. But it is a tool that can be used to get that grayscale out, but it comes with a whole full course. But like I said, maybe I'll offer that as a service since I do have access to that tool. But I would definitely try those steps first just to see if you can find the free way. And then if for some reason you still can't do it, you can just, reach out to me through email and I'll let you know how much I would charge to do it for you on my end and see what we can get to clean the picture up for you. But yeah, play around with ChatGPT, girl. So you can save your little coins if you can. Yeah, it's like that sometimes with the hair. It really is. I know what you mean. But that's why I actually hire an illustrator, because in all honesty, like I said, with AI, it's hit and miss because it's just AI and it's just not a perfect tool. So I hire an illustrator that I know actually can draw. And of course, a lot of people can go to Fiverr and stuff like that to hire an illustrator, but sometimes they be using AI too, if I'm being honest. But my illustrator, she actually knows how to draw from scratch. So but you're going to be paying more out of pocket. So it's either a matter of, using your time, figuring out AI, and, mastering it that way, using some of the tips I gave, or using your money and letting someone, actually draw the image for you. Because your book going to sell anyway, so you need to just invest in yourself. Well, that's what I do. I do both. My books for my Entrepreneurs Color 2 brand, I hire an illustrator for all of those books. But I do also have a couple of books under pen names as well, and I use AI for those. You're welcome. So are you asking me, did I use the images that are already in Canva? Like, are you talking about like their stock images that are on like the left side that you could just click on and then you can insert them? So you should not use those because it's risky, because some of the artists that made those images did not agree for their images to be used for someone to pay for to purchase it. They only gave permission for those images to be used if you were going to be creating like a document for free or something like that, but not to actually use in work that you're going to be selling. So you don't want to use those stock images. Now you can use Canva's AI because they have different terms for the AI part of it. So you can create your own using Canva. But yeah, you don't want to play around with those stock images. Too risky. Because what'll happen is you might get away with it, but then one day, Amazon's AI tool, when they're going through books and images and stuff, it might flag that, and then next thing you know, you'll be getting an email saying, can you prove that you have the copyright to this specific image? And then you're going to have to, figure all that out. So it's best to not do it. In all honesty, it's best to hire someone. But second best is AI. And AI is simple and it's fast. So that's why I love AI. But, you know, it is what it is. Yay, I'm glad you have learned so much. I really am. Chad, this is a colorful photo. Y'all, why I mess my girl face up like that? She gonna. Yes, girl, representation matters. It does, it does, it does. So I don't have a specific prompt that I use. I just play around with different prompts. Like I was telling somebody earlier, one of the main things, hold on. I'm up here dropping stuff. One of the main things that you can do is go to ChatGPT and use their photo image and upload an image that you find that you like that's a coloring page, and then ask ChatGPT to give you the prompt for that image. And then from there, you could just play around with different parts of that prompt to create different styles of that same image once you find one that's giving you the type of style that you like. I don't know. To be honest, the blocking and banning, that has been a long, ongoing issue. So all I try to do is make sure that the rules that I understand, I follow those to the best of my ability. And so that's what I show y'all, and that's what I teach y'all. And I know a lot of times, though, I cannot always say that there's not an issue, because I can't just say that they do it and there's not a reason. There's always a reason. Like they always have a reason why they did it. Whether you agree with the reasoning or not, there's always a reason. Like when my books, when I had the category issue, to me, that was not a issue because I felt like coloring books are activity books. Coloring books are art and relaxation. I mean, what else are they if they're not art and relaxation? So I didn't understand why that would be a wrong category, you see? But Amazon had an issue with it because to them, coloring books go in coloring book related categories, or whatever your keywords are and your title and your subtitle, all of that stuff has to match. You can't just throw a word here or try to use it to put different words in. Everything has to be congruent. Everything has to be one, like the body of Christ. Everything has to be one. You know how you have many members, but all of those members work together. Your hand can't do what your eyes do. Your feet can't do what your hands do, but yet everything works together to help you stand and walk. Same thing with KDP. Your title, your subtitle, your book cover, your keywords, your description, all of those things need to work together so that when KDP reviews your book or when their system looks at things, it has to match. They have to know that you have the rights to use the images that you're using, and it can't be trademark issues. So it's just one of those things. So, and that's why I always suggest it's such a great platform because you can get so much so much. What color did I have? You could get so much traffic to your book if it's set up right, but it's not your platform. We don't own any of these platforms, so I always suggest building your own platform. Because when you build your own platform, you're not going to have those same fears, because you know, okay, I'm just using Amazon for what it is. And no, I don't want my books to get terminated. But if they ever do get terminated, at least I'm not going to lose all my money, because I have my books on my own website. I have my own email list, you know, and I'm just basically making sure I'm good if that were to ever happen. Hold on, I'm trying to read this message. Can I share my first coloring book I ever made a sale from? Yeah, my first coloring book that I ever made a sale from is this book. This was my first ever coloring book in 2018. I've made sales from all of my coloring books. When I first started publishing, I used to make sure that I brought a lot of traffic to Amazon when I got ready to release my book, because I wanted my books to be bestsellers and new releases. Now that I've been doing it for a while, I don't really do all of that. But I still push sales on Amazon. I do it mostly by ads now. I've been testing those a lot more. But yeah, this was my first coloring book. The first month, I actually made, hold on, let me see if I can log in. I believe it was, because I write this in my email when people join my email list. Are you on my email list? Because if you are, then that's one of the emails that you get telling you all about when I first published and how much I made from my first sale. Let's see if I can find it. I think it was like $548 the first month. And the crazy thing about me making the $548 was I had never published a book before. I did not know that, like, when God told me to publish a book, I knew that the book had the potential to be successful. I just knew that I also had read somewhere, because I was doing my research, and they were like, you know, most authors never sell over like 500 books in their whole lifetime. I was like, wow, I think I could do more than 500. And so when that first month hit, even though $500 and something dollars might not be a lot to most people, to me, that was proof that this was gonna be good. So I was like, yes, my little $500 for my first month. You couldn't tell me nothing, honey. After I did that, I went and I did a post on Facebook, because whenever you doing a book, you always want to post to like family and friends, right? Because they're going to be the people that are going to usually support you for the most part. Don't depend on them, because they are not going to make you a successful book. Because first of all, how many family and friends you have? If you got 100, listen, you already know all 100 of them ain't going to support. Let's be real. So if you got 30 to 40 of them that support you, and you make them 30 or 40 sales, what you gonna do next month? What you gonna do then? You gotta go past family and friends, because most of the time they're not your target audience. They're just gonna be, you know, supporting you because they know you, they grew up with you, and they like, yeah, girl, I got your book. So after I posted it on Facebook, I started posting on my Instagram, and then I started posting everywhere else. But yep, this was the first one. 24 Shades of Business. Yes, for real. I would have been excited with $200 too. I sure would have, because that would have been proof. I would have been like, listen, if I could do that 5, 6 more times next month, so like I would be doubling that income. I'd be like, okay, so what did I do the first month? Let me retract that and do that twice as hard the next month. So whatever you find is working, just double down on it. When I first started, I was trying to create at least 2 books a year. Last year, I ain't do nothing under my Entrepreneurs Color 2 brand. I think I did like, I think I did 1 book. This year, I'm harder on myself because I realized that I didn't do like I should have done last year. So this year, I have all these goals, y'all, in my phone, right? So this year, I am planning to put out my minimum of at least 2 coloring books under my Entrepreneurs Color 2 brand. And then, of course, some coloring books under my pen names as well. But yeah, I try to do at least 2 a year. So what did you want to know about the copyright page? Basically, for my copyright page, I just say the title of the book, And then I have by Latoya Nicole, all rights reserved. And basically, this is just a template that you can use. You could just put, you can go to ChatGPT and say, can you give me a sample copyright page that I can use for my coloring book? And it'll write you out one. But in mine, I just say, no part of this book may be used or reproduced in any manner whatsoever without the prior written permission of the author, Latoya Nicole, except for use of brief quotations in a book review. And then I put conceptualized and created by me. And then my illustrations, of course, by my illustrator. And then I'll go ahead and put my ISBN number. Now, for the ISBN number, I purchased mine, but Amazon does allow you to get free ones as well. And then I'll go ahead and put my website as well. So if people have questions, you know how, like, for example, this book was in 2018. So let's say the only book that someone had from me is this book, but they're like, I wonder, did that girl publish any more books? Because I just got finished coloring the last page and I want some more books. So if they go in my book, they can be like, oh, this her website. Let me go to her website and see. Or they can look on the back and they can say, here go the website. Let me see if she got any more books. And then that's how they can kind of keep up with you. Yeah, you told me. And I think I mentioned to you because yeah, I think you were the one that I mentioned to or I responded back to, and I said that I let Amazon handle that. I don't fight those type of battles. Amazon handles that. That's why they block the books a lot, because people do that. That's not uncommon. People do that with a lot of books. So Amazon usually catches those books and takes them down. So yeah, that's not a child. I got too many other things going on. That ain't a battle I let them handle that. But thank you, though. So, yeah, those are the tips for how you can market your Amazon KDP books on social media. And I was trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to say. Oh, I told y'all about, it's always good to have your own store. I use Shopify for my store. And you just want to build your audience. And so one of the things that I suggest when you're first starting to publish your book is just making sure that you do the foundational things first, which is make sure people are searching for your type of book, and just make sure that, like the video, I think it was last week's, the last video that I posted, if you go to my main page, that last video, no, it's the video before that one. It actually, let me look it up so I can tell y'all the name of it. So it's called Stop Making KDP Coloring Books That Don't Sell. Do This Instead. And it literally walks you through the 3 steps that I use when I'm creating coloring books to set the foundation up correctly, just to make sure that you're not just creating some random book. You're creating a book with the potential to sell. Right? So I know sometimes we might have a vision of making a book and we might be like, okay, I got this great idea. I'm going to go ahead and publish this book about Johnny getting his tooth pulled. But if nobody is actually searching for Johnny getting his tooth pulled, then you're not going to get the organic traffic of that type of book. You're going to have to send all of your traffic yourself because nobody else is looking for your type of book. But if you start looking for books like self-care for teen girls, other people might already be searching for that. So that is a book that you would want to make sure you're including those keywords in your subtitle, title, and your back end. So it kind of just walks you through the steps of what you can do to just make sure those things are in place. So definitely check that out. The book that I was coloring is 24 Shades of Business. All my books are available on Amazon as well as on my website at Entrepreneurs Color 2. These were the Sharpie markers, and I'll link everything in the description that I was saying. But yeah, thank y'all for chatting with me tonight, and I'll try to do this a little more often. This was actually fun. Okay? So Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. And until next time, bye-bye.